If you've been paying attention to the Sunday morning lectionary, you'll notice that at this time of the year, towards the end of the church year, a lot of the lessons talk about the end of all time, what happens at the end. There are parables about the end. This past Sunday, for example, there was a parable of the wise and foolish virgins, that some were ready when the bridegroom came at the hour unexpected, and some were not. And so that theme is living in our lectionary right now because we are at the end of the church year. And at the end of the church year, we appropriately, thematically think about the end of all time. What happens at the end? Now, the end for many of us is not something that we often connect with the gospel or as good news on any real way. But as we listen to the creed on a Sunday, that he shall come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end, that is part of the good news of Jesus Christ, that he shall come to judge and that his kingdom will have no end. So there's really two things that I think are worth sort of noting about the end. The first is this, that the end sometimes causes us some anxiety, some concern, like what happens at the end? And am I among the sheep or am I among the goats? And what does that mean? How do I approach that? I think the fact that this season lives in our church year that reminds us of the end is doing the same thing that some of those parables are doing. It is giving us a chance to stop and think. It is, in fact, the season is in a sense a warning, just like the parables are a warning. The Lord is coming again. Stop now and think, am I ready? And that warning, the season or the parable in a given context, is in fact a gift. Am I ready? Is there something that I need to confess, for example, to the Lord that I have been avoiding or not confessing? Is there a relationship? Is there something that needs to be done or said that I have not done or said? Because I don't know if I will have the opportunity to do that. That's the gift of the season for us. As uncomfortable as that may be, it really is a gift and an opportunity to stop and say, is there someone I need to talk to? Is there someone I need to tell them I love them even, that I haven't done? It's a really important gift of this season. Am I ready? Have I put my life appropriately in order? It's a wonderful gift of the season. But the second thing is this, that the end truly is gospel. It is not but it's rather gospel. Because as we reflect on history, we reflect on the world today, we recognize that there are things that remain amiss, that are not set right. That indeed, historically, where things may have been in war and then they're at peace, then there's war again, or there have been progress here, but not progress there, that nothing is ever perfect, nothing is ever entirely resolved. But the gospel says this, that Jesus shall come again in glory, and he will judge. He will say, no, this is wrong. This needs to end. This is right. This needs to grow up. And his kingdom, the kingdom he establishes, will have no end. The great gospel of the end is that what is wrong will be made right, and it will be made right eternally. The end, the doctrine of the end, of the end time, that Jesus coming again in glory, is the promise and the good news that there is an eternal limit on injustice and sin and everything that is broken in the world. That is the great news of Jesus coming again in glory. That is the gospel of the end. And so at this time of year, we have an opportunity to rejoice that the end will come and that wrong will indeed be made right eventually and eternally in Christ Jesus. We also have the opportunity, as we're reminded of the end, you know what? There might be somebody I need to talk to. There may be something I need to put right, so I am ready for the end when it comes.